right, here we go.
Oh, you got some Beatles going on, huh?
I've got all British Invasion. That's it, the whole show.
Oh, so you hesitated.
British Invasion.
Will you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
Buy me some Beatle boots.
Beetle boots? You want some Beetle boots?
You remember those, right?
I know I do. Are we on? Everything's on?
Yes, everything's on.
Well, that was quick.
No, I was waiting
Hello,
for you.
I was a little bit late. I'm sorry, Henry.
She wasn't a little bit late. She was a lot late.
Okay, I was late. Yeah, I was, because it's hard to get the show ready.
Well, no, we were just waiting for the star of the show.
Oh, that's it. Oh, you just
It's
do it now.
classically, stars that do shows, they're always classically late, so we're prepared. And so a star like Rhonda, you gotta have somebody, you gotta have wait time.
I was waiting for you to reprimand me.
I told Rhonda,
Just
and
kidding.
I said it this way, I go, Rhonda, I'm gonna reprimand you.
Here's what it goes, you're late, I'm gonna reprimand you. I'm like, I'm not sure I like the way that sounds.
And it sounds great, you know what I mean? It's like, I want you reprimanding now or later.
I know it. I wonder if I think that fan's kind of loud, don't you?
Well, if you want to turn it off, you can.
Yeah, I think we should. I think it's going to be
Just
the way.
unplug it off
I'm
the wall.
getting-
Watch
I'm
out for
getting
the
up.
sparks, though.
I'll be right back. Talk to him, Henry.
Yeah, it's like she says she's getting up. She was just going to go take another sip of her,
There.
it's tequila. She got her first shot now, and we're talking about shots of tequila.
Tequila, yeah, I took my first shot before I got here. Tequila makes her clothes fall
Yeah,
off.
don't think. Well, it's funny guys.
What?
Funny guys are like this. Funny guys make you laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh before you know it, you're naked.
And you're laughing more when they're naked. I'm just kidding.
Why do you want me like this? Well, you're going to find out. You're getting reprimanded.
Oh, yeah, I don't have you in here.
Oh.
I had you cut out. There we go. Are you in there now? We kind of turn, so it's weird. Let me move this back. Maybe we can get us both in without being sideways. Oh, we're going to be sideways now. Okay,
Well,
here
my
we
hair's
go.
kind of messy. I wonder what I was doing earlier.
Okay, scoot over. This way. There we go. Now we're both in, I think. Oh, which way do I have
That's
to go?
good, right there.
That way.
Right
There we go.
You're
Okay.
good. You're
There we go.
perfectly
We
good.
can see it. We're going to be on the main one. Now listen, if you're on my feed and there's any problems, you can always hop on KUHSdenver.com and you can pick up the feed direct from the station instead of just from me. I'm scooting closer and closer
talk
to you.
away while I get this all shared out.
I'm trying to figure out how I can get you on here without you. There. You don't look right.
Well, it's 'cause
Let's do
I'm
the whole
already-
show like this.
Yeah.
Anyway, so today is, everyone knows, 4-3-2-1 day. Did you know that?
Yeah.
And so what's
So
going
what'd you
on
say?
in Las Vegas is that there were 700 people in line to get marriage license on 4-3-2-1.
Wow.
Get ready. Elvis is coming, right? And so they're going to the Elvis Chapel, and literally 700 people are in line to get their license yesterday so they could get married today by an Elvis impersonator.
Oh my gosh. Why?
I don't know. Maybe if you get married by Elvis, then it's an impersonator, so you don't have to pay attention to your vows. I don't know. It's weird. I actually wanted to get married in Vegas by an Elvis, or a Halloween.
Really?
I wanted to get married. First, I wanted to get married on Halloween and have a costume ball for a wedding. So everybody come dressed in a Halloween costume. We just get married, and I'd be Bride of Frankenstein. Pat was going to be Frankenstein. We had the whole thing planned out. My mother cried. My little Italian mother cried for I don't know, 3 days. And I said, Patty, I can't do it. I'm going to have to have a regular wedding. My mom's having a stroke, so we didn't do it. That was my dream wedding.
And so you had the regular wedding. Did you go buy you a dress? and
Yes,
all
I
that
had.
kind of-
I had a dress that you could have wrapped like a boat full of refugees in. There was the train was 100 miles long. It was back in the day when you had gauntlets.
So
and
I know I
laces and-
shouldn't say this, but was everybody pulling the train? Why did you tell me to say that?
I don't know. I don't like you
Why
saying
do you?
it.
Don't make me say those things. You say, "Here's what I want you to say." It's in the script, right?
Oh
there.
yeah, right. And yeah, it was huge, that train. It was hysterical. I still
It
have
was
the
a huge
dress.
train.
I thought, well, maybe one of my girls would wear it, but believe it or not, I was so tiny, none of my girls actually would fit in it. One's
Oh,
too
my
short,
gosh.
and I mean, they wouldn't fit in it. So I actually bought it off the mannequin. That's how thin I was back then.
Have you watched that one movie? I think it's called Mannequin.
Yes, that
is
scary
one
movie.
Good movie.
Yeah.
No, it's not too scary.
Is that where she comes to life or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
You thought it was scary?
I don't know. It's weird. Anytime a big doll comes to life, it creeps me out. I don't care.
Well, my blow-up doll comes to life and
shut
doesn't
up.
creep me out. You're the one that has it.
How
in
about
the
those
script.
robots? You know they have those robots that
For
look like people.
$25,000.
They have a robot in Japan right now that is the most well-known robot in the world. I forget her name. And she's now decided to be an artist, so she's creating artwork. And the last piece of digital art that this robot created sold for $648,000.
Oh my!
I mean,
gosh!
You got to be out of your. Why would you even buy that robot art? I mean, where's the spirit? I mean, art really is a representation of someoe's soul.
Oh.
You know, and now a robot's doing it.
Somebody's soul.
What is
Boy,
soul?
Rhonda, you're deep. You're getting really deep on me.
And I don't like art robots. And I don't think I like sex robots either.
I like those.
Those are weird.
Well, they have the ones with 5 speeds and 10 speeds.
Oh, shut up.
Oh yeah, let me tell you all about. Okay, sorry.
No, I think you know about it. It's weird. But I don't know.
Well, I broke
they should
mine.
have a better name if it's a sex
doll.
robot. They should have a better name. What do you think they should call them?
I broke mine.
Oh.
You couldn't keep up.
Oh, shut up. But don't you think they should have a name? Like instead of a robot, it should be called something else. What would you call robot at least? I don't know what.
Jeez.
What do you think, Henry?
I think so.
Robots.
No.
Not robots.
Booty.
Booty. Yeah. Booty.
And have a little thing, you pull the string that says, row your booty gently down the stream.
Row booties. That ought to be the marketing name for them.
And you can have a concept behind it and everything, right?
I'm dying. That's so funny. That's so funny. Hey, do you know what? Cancer League of Colorado, which is an organization that I'm very proud to have been a member of for a number of years, is having a raffle for, get this, a brand new Jeep Willys truck with the big fat tires and all the options on it. It's a 4x4. It's amazing. It was donated by the Doug Moreland family of dealerships, and the drawing will take place in May at Brandon Dodge. But if anyone would like to buy a ticket, they can go to cancerleague.org. It's $30, and you're giving it to a great organization. The organization's 100% volunteer, 100% Colorado. All the money stays here and is donated for cancer research and patient services. And there's no paid staff, no offices. It's all volunteer. So 100% of your money will go straight to those causes. And for $30, you get a chance. They're only selling like 4,000 tickets, so I don't know what the odds will be. But there's
that's really good odds.
It really is, because I don't even know if they'll sell all the tickets. So the reality is, you buy a ticket and you've got a better chance of anything that you ever bought a ticket for in your life.
That's right.
Well,
like
unless it was like
$100.
100 people and they'll raffle, but I mean for a big thing.
How
That's
much are they?
cool.
$100?
No, they're $30.
$30.
4 for 100.
I think I buy some.
I'm buying 4 for sure.
Yeah. How do I get my hands on it?
You go to cancerleague.org, and then right on the front page you'll see
Cancerleague.org. I'm going to remember that. I'm going to buy some for real.
I know. It's really cool, isn't it?
And I'm going to win that Jeep.
No, I'm winning the Jeep.
No, look I'm winning the Jeep.
I'm winning the Jeep. You know what'll happen? Somebody who bought one ticket, I was going to buy I wonder if you bought like 5,000 tickets, maybe you'd win, right?
Oh.
And I thought, no, because somebody who bought one ticket will be the
Win
winner.
it, yeah.
You're out $5,000.
Bought them a
You know?
freaking Jeep.
Yeah, you just bought them a Jeep. But anyway, it should be wonderful. And so if you would feel like supporting a cause and taking a chance on winning, listen, stop by any of the Doug Moreland dealerships, but anytime, because they're great people. I bought cars from them, and they're wonderful community supporters. But stop by one of the dealerships that sells Jeep and take a look at the truck. And if you want to see the truck, it's going to be around, and I'll be doing a PSA on the station, but it's going to be for a while. It's going to be over Park Meadows Mall outside, and you can see it. And then the drawing is at Brandon Dodge. But you can go to any of those dealerships and check out which one of the Doug Moreland family dealerships sells.
And that's so freaking
Jeeps,
cool, though,
and
Rob.
go check it out.
You know,
For a while, it's going to be
but
over
I'm
Park
telling you,
Meadows
I'm going to win
Mall
it.
outside.
I'm really going to buy me some tickets.
Good. You're
Well,
ready to
I'm
win.
finally done. I was sharing all these, sharing the video out all over the place. So.
There you go. Now you can talk. Too bad.
God, my hair's all messed up. What was I doing in here earlier?
I don't know. What were you doing? Mine's messed up. I'm just kidding.
Reprimanding her.
We're horrible. Good thing my husband.
You're the one.
Good thing I didn't say that.
Let's do that on the show because I told her that when she came in, so we were having fun.
Well, here's the thing. It's a good thing that my husband and your wife are know that we're just joking around. We'd be
well,
in
mine
trouble.
doesn't. She's always waiting patiently.
In the car?
Yes, like.
Well, he's joking around.
But she has her prod. You know, it's one of those cattle prods that's electronic.
She's got to keep you in line.
Yeah,
I don't blame her.
She puts it up to high all the time. It zaps my ribs.
And she should.
Oh, I love that.
And she should. She should zap the hell out of you. Pearl, please, give her for me.
Rhonda.
All right. I think that Pearl and Patty should do a show.
I thought you were going to say something.
No, God, you idiot.
Yeah, idiots working with the broadcast.
I think that Pearl and Patty should host a show one day. And give a chance to get even.
Oh my! Don't even say it.
I think we should.
Oh no!
We'll bring him on.
No.
No. Okay, I'm going to bring him on one of these days for him with me on the show.
To get or even.
There's a bunch of oddities today. Let me the music on the music feed, by the way, is all British invasion. So Beatles and Stones and Animals and all those wonderful groups. What's on there now? Let's pull it up. Oh yeah.
This is some good stuff. This reminds me of Kim Radio.
Yeah, that's why I played it. I was like, oh, bring back the memories of working at the greatest place ever.
And you know how you said the Beatles and stuff. I used to love Beatle boots. I used to love the Beatles. I have all the Beatles collection.
Me too. I love the Beatles.
Yeah, me too.
I even had the dolls. I still have the little Paul doll.
Well, I didn't play with dolls. But
anyway, so this is interesting.
With the Barbies.
Talk about a jerk for an employer. So this guy lives in Georgia, and he's in Marietta, Georgia. Just so you know, maybe if we can find the name, we'll tell you the business. He said his former employee owed him a pretty penny, $915 to be exact, when he left his job, and the employer didn't want to pay him, and of course the guy wanted his money. So the employer showed up at his driveway and dumped 90,115 pennies.
Oh my gosh, I heard about that.
Yeah, in his driveway. What an ass! Who would want to work for somebody like that?
I know. You know what I was going to say? Now that you're talking about the British invasion, did you notice what I'm wearing?
Rock and Roll Music Festival, Austin, Texas. All right.
And it's all the rock music she's playing. That's what they were playing at this festival.
I love this
festival. That is such a coincidence.
Austin's got great music stuff going on.
Yeah, and then she brings in this British invasion thing, and so it's like it all fit together.
It all fit together.
I got the rock and roll shirt.
So anyway, this guy gets over 90,000 pennies dumped in his driveway, and he's been taking like months to clean them and put them in a wheelbarrow and pick them up. He needs his money. What jerk, right? So this coin company heard about it, and they sent a truck over, picked them all up, automatically counted them, rounded it up, and said, here's a check for $1,000. And they made donations to 2 charities in his name, which were both animal shelters. So let's see if we can
But you know why they did that? They're going to go look at every one of those pennies, see how many of their collector pieces.
Okay, here we go. Here's the name of it. So if you live in Georgia, it's Peachtree City's AOK, Walker Auto Works. And he left that job in November. He was owed a check. He had difficulty getting it. And so the Georgia Department of Labor had to help, and the guy paid him in pennies. What a jerk. So if you live near, outside of Atlanta, and I think this guy was in, if you live outside of Atlanta, and it's a suburb, I can't remember which one, do not go to Peachtree City, AOK, Walker Auto Works. Because that guy's a jerk. No, I'm serious, because if he'd do that to an employee, what would he do to somebody he didn't even know?
I know.
I wouldn't trust him to touch my car.
So you go over there, this is your car, it needs...
I'd pay him in pennies. That's what should happen. Everybody, they change my mind. Everybody go there and pay the guy in pennies.
Oh my God.
That's what I do. Oh my God.
You know why he did that though?
Why?
That's a marketing scheme. To get his, whether it's good or bad, marketing schemes like that always work.
Well, I know, because no press, there's an old saying, any press is good press. That holds true for everything except like pedophilia. If you get caught doing that, there's no good
Where
press.
do you get this?
But everything else.
I was going with you, Rogan, that was a pedophilia.
Yeah, that's it. Or murder or something. But other than that, all press is good press.
That's true.
They forget, all they do is remember your name. It doesn't hurt.
Just like somebody was making fun of this meme and it says, just graduated from Harvard, and they misspelled everything. and they graduated with a marketing degree.
From Harvard.
Yeah, but think of that. They're misspelling everything. Marketing degree. How did they? That thing.
Oh yeah, it went viral.
It went viral. So they got all this publicity. The gal got a job, like 5 job offers from that.
Oh my God, that's funny.
They knew it was a marketing scheme because everybody was looking at that.
Yeah, that was good. That was smart.
It's smart. It's
That's
like,
right. I'll just tell my boss every time I misspell something. It's a marketing scheme. I'm retiring at the end of June.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm just
retiring from what?
From working for other people, except for you. I like this. But
Everybody, here's the standard theme here. This here is, and everybody says this. Every refuge has its price. This is a refuge for everybody, but every refuge has its price, right?
I know. I have to hang out with Henry. you know. But
Yes, straighten up.
I'm trying to straighten up because I looked over at the other camera and you could see my fat roll because I was
Well,
sitting.
look at I have man titties.
Moobs. They're called moobs.
Moobs.
Man
I
boobs.
got
moobs. He's got moobs. He's got moobs. Doot, doot, doot. He's got, what is that? I've got something. I can't remember the commercial. Okay, so here's something that took place in Louisiana. I'm going to go back to these crazy things. Now, why is it that everything stupid happens south of the Mason-Dixon line? Did you ever notice that? Guy pays a guy in pennies. It's in Georgia. This thing happens. Arson arrest. A woman set fires all over her neighborhood, not just her property, but all the property that bordered her property, all down and around the street, because she and her boyfriend said they were trying to chase out snakes. She burnt down somebody's home trying to chase out snakes.
Jeez.
It wasn't even her own.
Is it Georgia too, where the governor came out and did all this stuff, where he for voting and stuff, you can't vote if you're in line. Nobody can give you water.
It wasn't the governor. It's the legislature.
Is it in Georgia?
Yeah. And hopefully the government would
So
veto
to
it.
pass the Mason-Dixon.
Well, we need national voter protection laws.
Yeah.
Things like when early voting can start, when it can end, that the polls have to be open for at least this many hours over a period of time, that you have to have, based on the population that lives within a circle, like 3 miles or 10 miles of the thing, you have to have a booth every so many miles.
Yeah.
So, it's ridiculous. I mean, the Republicans have been doing voter suppression for years. They're doing it again. And the reason they're doing it is they don't want people to vote that are poor. They just don't.
That's exactly
They don't
right.
want poor people voting because there's more poor people than there are rich people, and they don't want them voting. Actually, that's nothing different. Our country was founded on that principle. Everyone says it was founded on freedom, and it was founded on greed. It was founded on, no, it really was.
It was. I'm with you.
Because the original document, if you're an originalist, which everyone claims they are when they hate everything that happens that's new, then here's the deal. Unless you own land, you couldn't vote, right? Women couldn't vote. Eventually, I think blacks counted for 3/4 because the southern states wanted more representation, so they counted them as 3/4, so they got a little bit more representation.
They're not wild.
I know, but they didn't let them vote, but they just counted them so they could get more reps. And so then they say, and that's the Republicans today, and they're like, oh, we're worried that a Mexican might vote. Illegal people don't vote. First of all, there's been no history of voter fraud that's provable or beyond, not just here, but it goes back years and decades. There's been very little fraud. There's always going to be a few, but not enough to be significant in any election we've ever had, really.
Ever. Except this one.
Except this one, when they tried a massive fraud on us to keep Trump in. But
ain't it nice to not be even?
But they keep gerrymandering those districts and making it hard for poor people to vote because they can't get off work early sometimes, or if they do, they're not supposed to be, but they are, and they might not be able to get there. So they're doing things to make it hard for people to vote that are poor, old, uneducated. Those people have a really difficult time getting to polls, and that's not particularly any race, but it's poor people. They don't like poor
voted,
people.
Haven't you?
Oh, I have since I was 18.
Me too.
And they just don't like poor people. That's what I've come. And so anyway, our country.
Why do you keep looking at me?
I'm just telling you because you're poor. They hate you. No, the country. Oh, let's see, we got you out of this. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
The country was founded by wealthy people, and that's why there's the House and the Senate, because the House represented the poor people, basically, the masses. But the Senate, which really controls the power and can veto the House and not send it through, were people that were of money.
Right.
And so, and that's why they want to restrict all of this. And like I said, originally you couldn't even vote if you didn't own property. So that's this is a leftover from those days, and it just keeps going and going.
I always thought the thing about women not being able to vote was odd as can be. Well, I knew the black thing it was an odd because I know they were so succumbed to, racial injustices and stuff. But the women, I did not get that one.
Well, because the man ruled the roost. They didn't want a woman deciding things. They didn't think they could.
Oh,
you know,
man.
back then they didn't think the women had the capacity.
They
to
always
do that.
have. Women are God's gift to men.
Yeah.
Who.
Well, I wish men would figure it out.
I did.
You have.
Huh.
Right, I'm asking Pearl. Pearl?
She'll say, that dude won't leave me alone even to this day.
Oh, gosh. But,
yeah, that's what she says. Oh, gosh, not again.
And then
That's
then you wake up out of your dream. Oh, okay, I was just dreaming that. But anyway, so, with all of the voter suppression, that's the thing we have to really be focused on. Is it's very important for us to maintain that everybody can vote. I don't have an issue with having to bring your voter card or prove you live there or prove who you are. I think that that's reasonable.
Hello, Michelle. You're saying hi, Rhonda and Henry.
Oh, hi, Michelle. There she is.
Hey,
went to high school.
Tell us this. You talked about the Cancer League of Colorado. You did not tell us about the event that they have all the time.
Well, it's coming up, Hope Ball.
Well, tell us about the ball, because you kind of tell us what it looks like. Come on, get in depth about it, because
this
it's
year's
so cool.
virtual again, and it's really cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought they were going to have it.
And well, I think it's going to be virtual again because it's in May every year. And if you go on cancerleague.org, you can learn about it. But this is a chance, because normally you go to this ball, it costs you about $500 a ticket.
And they have a band and dancing
and all kinds of stuff. Oh my God, it's phenomenal.
And then they do the silent auctions.
And the live auction, they raise about $300,000 every year, and that goes to Anschutz. They fund a chair at the Anschutz research, and it goes there, and it goes to places like Camp Wapi Yapi and
I went to a concert.
Epic Experience and places like that work with people with cancer.
I think it was Earth, Wind, and Fire in Chicago or something, or one of those. And Anschutz was part of it. And they had a car to raffle off at the concert. And it was in this place right there behind Pepsi Center. I forgot the name of it. It was like in that tent area. It was really nice. It was for the Cancer League of Colorado.
Yeah, the family's involved with that, and there's so many other people that are involved in our community, business owners like Doug Moreland, like we've been talking about. What a great guy!
And of course,
I'm going to tell you right now, if you're looking for a car, go there.
You guys say KUHS.
KUHS radio, of course.
I got so many requests after you came on and we're talking about this raffle of this vehicle. All of a sudden, everybody's trying to hit us up. Like, where's that at? Where is it? So we'll be getting that information up on our website.
I'm going to make a PSA and we can run it too.
Plus, we'll put it up on our website so you can see where to go. Get the tickets for the auction. They're only $30 for this really nice brand new vehicle.
Oh my God, I want it. And it's a $41,000 list price on this vehicle. $41,000.
Do you have to pay the taxes or anything?
You do. Whenever you win something like that, you have to pay the taxes. So you would have to
on
pay.
On 45,000, whatever.
Well, yes, there's a couple of taxes. You have to pay the taxes, dealer handling and licensing taxes when you buy a vehicle in Colorado. So like a new car, you'd have to be responsible for those. And when you win a prize, I believe there's a 1099 that you get for the value. So you have to that'll add to your income tax. So.
And after you're done,
but
you win it.
Yeah, but it's still cheaper than buying the car.
And that's true.
I mean, no matter when you buy a car, you pay the taxes and license and insurance and plates and all that stuff.
Well.
So it's just the tax on the prize itself. Which is a 1099.
And it's such a good cause, right, Rhonda?
Oh,
You've been doing this a long time, right?
I've been involved with them since, gosh, I'm trying to guess now. It was probably 2007, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's been quite a while, and I couldn't say enough nice things about them and every single person that I've met there. They are truly champions of our community. Whether they have time to give or money to give, they're all champions of our community.
And what was interesting, there was about one or two, and I may send those to you, but one or two people were thinking it was a gag.
Why?
I don't know. And I go, no, this is real. Oh, sure, you could win a car at a raffle, sure. And some people think like that. They think.
Well, they do. No, it's legitimate, and it's licensed with the state of Colorado, as all raffles have to be. And you have to get a person that's trained and holds a raffle license for the organization. You have to report what you're doing and how you're doing it. You have to be open to the public on the day of the drawing, which I'll give out to you when we do the PSA. I can't remember it off the top of my head. And you need to clearly state the rules and how many tickets are going to be sold. We can't do the odds because we don't know how many tickets are going to be sold.
Now, you're saying
the maximum would be 1 in 4,000.
In May is when they're going to auction it off?
Let's see if I can find it on the website, and I'll tell you why we're.
And the reason I want to go over more of this because she called in. It was interesting. She had you and two other individuals who called in and talked, and you know, a lot of people catch this, and then they start hitting me up saying where, when, what, who, how, because it is hard to follow it when you're just calling in on a.
Any information you need on it is on Cancer League
of Colorado.
Oh, it's just cancerleague.org, and that's called Cancer League of Colorado. But their website is cancerleague.org.
Cancer League not of Colorado, just
cancerleague.org. Oops. And I went to Colorado Gives by mistake. Whoops. Let me find their website.
So on there you could find your chance to win.
Here
It's
it is.
only $30, and you know, that'd be like what,
4 tickets, 4 prizes, and 4,000 ticket limit. So it's a 4x4x4 giveaway.
So how many is 100? 4 for 100. That's only 25.
$30 each, or 4 for $100.
I'm gonna go for that 4 for 100.
It's May 10th. The drawing is May 10th. At
now,
noon.
am I eligible to win as promoting the?
Yeah. Because we don't. I believe internet stations aren't. Don't have to follow the same FCC regulations.
They're called streaming stations now.
Yes.
They've the internet stations have now garnered this new term or terminology as streaming stations, and so it's part of regulation. You know that they're trying to put regulations on streaming stations.
Oh God, I won't be able to cuss anymore.
I know you can. Mother, father, son of a bitch! I thought I was going to say it.
Mother, father. Yeah.
Shut the front door.
Shut the front door, mother, father. Anyway, $30 each or 4 for $100. Great odds, great cause, limited to 4,000 tickets. The drawing is May 10th at noon at Brandon Dodge on Broadway. The only way to get the tickets is through online. So go to cancerleague.org, grab your ticket, and make a great donation to Cancer League, and maybe you'll win.
That's great odds.
It really is. I know.
No,
Look
really.
at it. Isn't it gorgeous?
Damn.
It's like that. It's like that little Jeep truck. I love. My husband want one. That's his. That's his dream car. And maybe
you would hate me if I won it.
No, I wouldn't. I'd be
I'd
very,
give you
very
a
happy.
ride.
Maybe. I won't give you one.
Yeah, you will.
But if I win the lottery, I bought a bunch of. Where did I put them anyway? I lost them. That's not a problem. I'm so lucky. I'm pretty sure I could win the lottery, but I keep losing the damn tickets. Every time I buy one, I lose them.
Do you remember a long time ago when they used to do the lottery here in town, and you'd go down to the TV station and spin this wheel?
I got to do that. I got to be one of the people.
Yeah, my brother did too, and he was one away from it clipping into the 1 million.
Oh wow!
He won 5,000 though.
They had when they first started, they'd have you come on, but they also had people in the community that were known coming on, and they asked me to do it one time, so I got to go in and spin the thing.
Yeah, it was really nice, and like I said, it just has a clip over one more, and he would have hit it.
Oh,
it was
God.
the $1 million. Yeah, that's how you said. Oh my God, that was close.
Well, there was a lottery ticket winner
right
when I went to college in Illinois that was from the town where my dad was, and this couple, they announced whatever in the paper, and that's back then in the paper, and they won this lottery, and they were all excited about everybody drinks, and they had a great time, and then the paper had misprinted, they hit the wrong number, and it wasn't theirs. But I think the paper
blew all their money.
I think the paper paid their bar tab.
I did know a guy who won on a scratch ticket $1 million.
Did you?
He bought him a brand new home and everything. And
Wow.
he's a musician, so I did know somebody who did win a lot of money.
Well, that's cool.
Isn't that neat?
A friend of mine's grandmother won the interstate lottery, which was like $20 million, and she was like 87.
Oh, but see, that's not fair.
Well, I'm sure her grandkids were
and
happy.
you tell them, oh, you won all this money. Oh, yay.
I'm sure her grandkids were happy.
And
And it was so funny because she was still flying coach and doing all these things like saving money, like especially depression people did. And her granddaughter's like, you could buy
the jet,
the plane. Just buy first class. Don't wait. No, I'm not used to that. Okay, I get used to it pretty damn
Rhonda,
quick.
if you won like the big lottery, would you buy you a small
No.
jet? You know what? I would.
Really, I would.
I would. I'd buy me a small jet so I can move around real quickly. Not a real expensive one, maybe $2-3 million one.
No.
I would, yeah.
I would rather, it wouldn't bother me. I'd fly first class, but it wouldn't bother me.
I would. That's just hassling at the, going through all the lines and people and waiting and all that.
Well, if you just have a jet, you have to have a pilot. Then you got to pay a salary. You got to have it on state. Better have to rent one or just lease a private plane.
No, you can sell seat. In fact, we have a new sponsor on our setup now.
We do?
Yes.
What is it?
It's really cool. It's called spareseat.com. It's SPAIRSEAT. So go online.
SPAIRSEAT.com. And are they just private pilots that have extras?
No. They have pilots on there. You can get a ride to and from cities. they have cars, like people who are going, like let's say you're going from here to Colorado Springs, you need somebody to ride with you, that
Oh,
kind
wow,
of
that's cool.
thing. Excuse me.
That's really cool.
And all these different variables that are going on are on there. It's really cool. So you can get a jet's going to LA one way. You can say, okay, I'll give you $50 if I can buy that seat. It's called spareseat.com.
Oh, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna go see my daughter pretty soon.
Excuse me.
So anyway, I am gonna be doing a little bit of my own thing after June. I'm gonna have I do a lot of photography, and I'm gonna start working and photo and
Beautiful photography too. I've seen it.
I'll bring a show in.
That's how we got
that's
you
how we
in
met.
there. That's how we met.
So I'm gonna start focusing on things like my photography and graphic design and little project work for small and medium-sized businesses, because they're really priced out of having people that understand marketing and understand that what they need to be able to reach folks. It's so expensive, and so I'm going to price everything that probably between $100 and $500. Some photography, of course, if I'm doing a big photography shoot, that'll have to be a little bit more. But I'm going to keep everything really low, and it's going to be, and the name of the how you find me if you want to use my services or get a bid will be on helpmerhonda.us.
Help me, Rhonda.
Yep, help me, Rhonda.
Help me, Rhonda. You know what, Rhonda, I was going to tell you too, this is interesting. I was on a Zoom, somebody invited me to be on their Zoom, and it was with this guy out of Europe, and one from, it was from California, and several other people. One guy recognized me. It was interesting. He was like, met you before, and we had to go over that. But
In the post office, he saw your picture there.
And this is interesting because they talked about, how to market. And you know how you know what marketing is, and they said the key to marketing is to make sure that you say what you want to say up front, clearly and visibly.
Yes.
And with big writing and letters, and they did like a little research on our website, which is interesting. And I've always said it's a little it's a little bit too busy, but he kind of readjusted it and showed me how it should look. So marketing is key, and so Rhonda, you take some of the best pictures that can market anything, because it's captivating. Your pictures are captivating. I've seen your calendars. You gave me one.
Well, here's what I think when it comes to photography. Is a difference between just snapping a picture and making a photo. A picture captures that exact moment in time in a still, and it's kind of flat. Yeah, and not only is it in reality flat, but emotionally it's just kind of there. A photograph captures the essence of what's going on.
And I like the way you use the word essence, and that's true in marketing. This is what they were telling me yesterday. The essence of what is there, and he said, what we're doing here is remarkable because he hears about it in Europe.
See?
Well, of course, we're part of, Peter Hatton broadcasts out of over there, and he's always putting stuff over on the social media,
Right.
but he really thought that it came out nice. He says, I hear about you guys over here. I Google you guys, you're everywhere.
Well, it's wonderful because our streaming station is number 3 in the United States?
In the United States,
Yeah.
it's New York, Dallas, and then
right here.
Sanchez.
Right here. So
And then
thank you everybody for making us number 3.
And then
Appreciate it.
there's 3 app writers who've created apps, and they even stayed up there, and I even posted, I'll post it again. It says, you want to download this app into your Android or your iPhone. It says of the best stations in Colorado, the number ones, and we're in there. It's like, wow. So they're writing us into apps now, so you can hear our stations. So now
That's awesome.
then the new word, the buzzword is the streaming stations. The word internet is going away.
And they're going to call it streaming, right?
They're calling it streaming now.
Well,
So-
that's
and
perfect.
like I was telling you, they're trying to put a hold on it now. They're trying to put a.
Well, and they're going to. I mean, eventually it'll all get regulated because.
And that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
It's like, then we have to be grandfathered in. There's no way they could say, "Oh, go put a regulation on you now."
Well, going forward, they could. I mean, they could easily regulate in terms of content, and in terms of language, and in terms of whether or not you can promote raffles, or whether or not you can
All that stuff.
all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Now, here's the thing that you said that. Now, we've been regulated about 3-4 times by CBS, NBC, Sony Records. All of them they're just like hounding us big time. And some of this stuff is like only 8 seconds, and then with 60 minutes, they just put a complete clamp on it because that's when the Trump thing was really prevalent, and our show was about that. So you're seeing all this clamp down now. It's no longer an internet station. That's a stream, just
Yeah.
like You go buy a new TV, everything is a freaking stream.
I know. It's
stream Peacock, stream this.
And there'll be some, and I think it's okay to say, and I would be more than happy to say, this show is an opinion show. It is. It's entertainment. It's an opinion. It's not news. It's entertainment and it's opinion.
You've been with us a long time, Rhonda, and you made this show so flossed out. It's like it just flows so cute. It's like you do opinions, but also you do some great WTF stuff. Like, what the frogs?
I know. and so I'll be the first to say it's my personal opinion that the Republican Party is trying to gerrymander and voter suppress, and it's my personal opinion that they've been overrun by kooks. Okay, that's a personal opinion, not fact. Might be fact. I think it is, but it's my opinion. And there's a difference between somebody giving their opinion and clearly stating it's an opinion and somebody who is on a news channel and they're masking it in a newscast.
You know, I like the word that you use because I use that a lot. Masking in news media is real. Now, here's what we did right after the big shooting, the 10 people who got killed. Mm-hmm. And we had Charlie come on. He got on right at the last minute. And he goes, "What am I going to say, Henry?" I go, "Do your spiel." And he always knows when I say that. I'm just going to give him 5 subject lines, and I want him to talk about it. Then we got Channel 31 and Channel 2 patched in with us, and we were giving the backside of what it's like to be a newscaster.
Oh, that's
covering that. So, and he just about teared up. He says to go there to see and witness just everything live, even though you're the newscaster and trying to make sense out of it.
Well, and you have to get in people's faces too.
Yes, and that's what he said.
And people are suffering.
Yes.
And it's a very difficult situation. I didn't spend a lot of time in the news departments, but I did go on a few things and observed, and it is a tough job. I mean, they're humans, and they're standing there in carnage, you know.
See, but we had Charlie do talk about PTSD, trauma, and how it affects first responders and newscasters.
Yes, and it
does.
does.
As a newscaster, you're witnessing and trying to convey the message. Like you said, some of these news stations are just out there saying a bunch of garbage. These other ones are doing the real live news.
Our local stations are all great.
Mm-hmm.
And particularly, I love Greg Nieto. I love him. He's a great guy, and he's honest. And Fox 31 here does a great job. I don't have any problem with
Fox 31, the Deuce.
And 2, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the Deuce.
And what's nice about what they did, they're ready to come into our station to do the exclusive because they know we're going to change it around and deliver it in a different way than the standard. Look what happened, look at this. We delivered it with a human value to
angle,
it.
right, human touch.
And it was really interesting, and it came out so
That's
good.
Cool. Well, I think our local stations here all do a good job. They're really pretty unbiased, and they present the news pretty well. Not KOA Radio, they're kind of leaning to the right, and they're biased a little bit, but they're still good stations.
Yes.
And I actually listen to Mandy McConnell, even though she's pretty far right, because her stuff is based in fact. It may not be exactly the way I would interpret that fact, but it's based in it, and so she's a.
But your interpretation of what she's saying kind of fits your values.
Yeah, and so so I take it with a grain because she's pretty far right and I'm not. But
now Channel 9,
she's honest.
Channel 9 gets with us too for doing the shots and doing all. Mm-hmm. So we patch in with them. There's some that just won't patch in with us because they not sure because we're all now streams. So now. When they say catch our 24/7 stream, that's all you hear on the stations now too.
Well, and I think that for a while it was considered a lesser product.
That's right, and now it's the premium product.
Because people can basically hear people having real conversations. It's not pre-recorded and programmed in another state by one master programmer, and they pick all the music and they pick everything, and then they just have DJs that kind of just put it on the air.
It's funny you say that because Paul Chavez was sitting in here and he was putting up all these different type of music, just like you do. Mm-hmm. And he says, we're giving the other stations programmers fits.
Oh, yeah, because we can do all kinds
We can just switch it up and look at this beautiful music you brought in today.
So let's put it there.
I said dance with the girls.
I did the Do-Wah-Diddy parade in Denver. I produced that with Retta Williams and Retta Shed. And it was a parody of parades. And so, like, we had low-flying superheroes, all these people dressed up like people laying on skateboards, going through the streets in Larimer Square. And we had drag queens with the queen of the parade. We had carloads of them waving with all their tiaras. And my husband lost a bet, and he had to lead the parade as the marshal, dressed as a ballerina. And right behind him was all the drag queens. And he was a young man then. He was not as open-minded as he is, because it was, just wouldn't have been around then. And
you didn't do that?
I get a call that there's a problem starting the parade, and I run down there, and it's my husband. He won't start the parade, and he looks like a little boy, and he's like,
I'm not going to do this, Rhonda.
They're yelling at me. They're whistling at me. Tell them to stop.
They're whistling at me.
And I went back. It was Brandy, I think was her name. And I went back. I said, Brandy, look.
Oh,
the guy leading the parade is a little bit homophobic. He's not anymore. I'm so proud of the growth my husband has made. But I said, so he like doesn't like you guys yelling and you girls yelling and whistling at him. And they go, okay. I go, it's my husband. I said, but once he starts the parade, just let him have it. And they were like, okay.
Oh, that's wrong, Rhonda. That's you. That's wrong all the way.
It made national news. He's leading the parade behind a whole, like 2 carloads of drag queens behind him. He's marching down his tutu with his mustache, and he's just out of college football, so a big old guy. And it made national news, and a whole bunch of his college buddies saw it.
Oh my gosh.
It was pretty funny.
And you know what's nice about Rhonda? Nobody ever gives you that, but everybody tells me about you. Where did you find or hook up with Rhonda Shea? And she's so good at what she does. I go, well, she's got a lot of years behind her, doing lots of things for lots of people.
Are you saying I'm old?
No,
okay.
Of the talent. Not about you and your age, but your talent in this media field. And when I start telling them about where you came from, they look at me like, you're kidding me. Why? No, why would I kid you? You remember Kim? Do you remember Cool? Do you remember this? Do you remember that? Yeah, she was part of that. And how come she's so funny? She's to be a stand-up comedian, trying to do it. You did it for 2 years.
I quit doing it. I told you why.
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing it again, maybe just for people's birthdays or something, just like.
You know, you would do real well at this day and age because you do the facial expressions and your cadence and everything about you is just right there. I think you would kill it.
Well, the problem was they told me I told you this before, but I'll say it, I still get like upset over it. I went and I said, well, this is what I do, and it's a little bit coarse, but I'll try to tone it down. Tell me who you want me to talk about. They gave me a list of people to talk about. Well, I guess they didn't understand that comedians, when they talk about people, make fun of them, And so they gave me this guy's name. I start making fun of him. The whole room goes. It's like I lost the audience. They're all glaring at me, and I'm like,
uh-oh.
And it was a guy who had died.
Oh, my.
I was like, why would you give me a name? I found that out, and I'm like, oh, my God.
Oh, Jesus.
So I made a donation to their group in his name. But I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
We've all made boo-boos.
They gave me the names. Who should I talk about? Here. Great. So that was it. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I was so mortified I haven't been able to do it since.
We had to
I had a
come up
whole
with a
thing
show.
going. I was doing all kinds of stuff.
We had to come up with a show with these kind of things that have happened to you.
Oh, you don't want to know the things that have happened to me.
Oh, yeah. She's got some doozies,
Yeah,
especially out of college, especially as she was growing, having children, everything. She's got some great stories.
Did I tell you when the kids got locked me in the basement? I'll tell you that one. I'll tell everybody this one now. So I'm working at home in the basement because for a while I worked at home when my daughters were little. And then after that I went back to run Radio Disney, but I took a time period and I was doing some consulting for some media properties. And I was working late at night in the basement, and it was a pretty big old house. And Leo, the youngest, was 6 months old or so, and the other one was 6 years old. And the 6-year-old would not go to bed. She kept coming down, coming down, coming down. I'm like, go to bed, go to bed, go to bed, go to bed, go to bed. Well, my house, I always left the double doors open, like that, and the glass doors, and they were locked, but they were, I love having open doors. And go to bed, go to bed, go to bed. Finally, I said, if you don't go to bed, I'm going to come up there, I'm going to spank you to get your butt upstairs. So she goes up and she slams the door, and I don't bother checking anything. And about 2:30 in the morning, my husband's out of town on a business trip. I go to get upstairs, and she had locked the basement. We had a lock on the other side of the basement door, a deadbolt. So when my husband was out of town, we'd deadbolt the basement door shut. So if anybody got in the basement, they couldn't come upstairs. We'd hear them.
Oh my God.
So I'm locked in the basement. Now I've got an infant that's upstairs that's still on a bottle, and I can't get to her. And I'm thinking she's going to have diaper rash. She's going to be starving. Oh my God, what if somebody comes in that front door? I'm having a panic. So I open the escape door, the escape window in the basement, and I climb into the escape window. And that's, by the way, it's November, it's cold. and I have on a pair of shorts and a t-shirt and no shoes, but I thought, well, I'll just hop in there, and then I'll grab hold of that thing and hoist myself out of the window well, the big tall window well, right? There's no ladder in it, by the way. So I shut the door and the window locked behind me, and I go to hoist myself up and realize that I'm now in my 40s, and I have had 2 children, and I haven't had a chance to work out for several years. I can't get out of the window well. I'm like, I'm stuck. So now I'm stuck outside my house with my 2 kids in the house. That's
Oh
true.
my God.
2 kids in the house. I'm stuck outside in a window well in November, freezing. My feet are numb. And then I start thinking, I wonder what's in this window well with me. And I start to panic because I'm like, there's got to be spiders. There's got to be all kinds of
Are you
things.
afraid of spiders?
Yes, and I said, God knows what's in there. Cause,
Mice.
I was like, oh God. So I'm like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I thought, well, I can't do anything. I mean, I didn't have a cell phone. Back then you didn't carry your cell phone everywhere.
Oh, that's right, I remember.
So, I'm like, I don't know what to do. So finally, I feel something hard under my foot, and I dig it out with my hands, and it's bricks. So I dug out the base of the window well under all that junk. But in the meantime, it's like an hour later, and I build a brick tower that I can stand on and get myself out of the window well.
Door.
And I go around the side, and I go in the house.
And I climb into the escape window, and that's, by the way, it's November, it's cold.
And so I get in there, and I go around, and I get in the house, because we had a hidden key. And I go upstairs, and I'm really mad at that kid that locked me
I
out.
just
Open that bedroom door, because I'm going to let her have it.
grab hold of that thing and hoist myself out of the window well, the big tall window well, right?
And anyway, so I
go
open that door.
around and I get in the house, because we had a hit.
What's going on? You can hear it.
Yeah, good.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so I open the door, and I open her bedroom, and I'm gonna just let her have it, and there she is sleeping like a little angel, and I was like, oh, damn it. So I went around, it's now 3:34 in the morning, and of course we were late to school that day, and I was cold and freezing, and I got strep throat, and let's see, it was great. So I went to school, and I dropped her off at school, and she was late, and I go, I'm not telling you why. School looked at me, how you have to tell them. I go, I'm not telling you why. And I just went home. I was like,
pissed.
Yeah.
That's interesting. There's all these fun things that just growing and being with your family and stuff, and just like the one story you told us about in Mexico.
Oh God.
That was a killer funny. And so, you've done all these cool things, Rhonda, and like even just the other day, just doing the Cancer League of Colorado call-in, I was, and I thought about it. Everybody's saying, well, is that real? And, it was so well done that people think that we're just making this up for, to get some people to listen to us or whatever.
Well, that's crazy. We don't make things up like that.
I know, but it's just, that's what happens because tickets for only $30, so.
That thing is awesome. That's a great chance and a great cause. And like I said, everybody involved with that cause are top-notch people. They're wonderful corporate citizens. They're wonderful individual citizens. They
Rhonda,
give generously.
You go all over the place, and you meet lots of different people, and you see how many quality people are over there with the Cancer League of Colorado.
Oh. And it's just whether
quality people.
Well, it's just people who care about our community and care about cancer, whether they have money or don't. They either volunteer time, they volunteer money, they volunteer both resources, efforts, their talents, their time, their money, their treasure. Talents, time, and treasure. That's what they give.
If there was only lots of different people like that running around, everywhere, but there's all the variables. I call it the dark side, because there's a lot of the dark side that you wonder, how do you think like that?
Well, I don't know, because what I have found is that most of the people in our community that are involved with the nonprofit world are really good folk, and whether they have time to give or talent to give or resources to give, they give, and they do it graciously, and they do it with the knowledge that they've been blessed and that they're able to do it.
Now, Rhonda, before we close out, let's talk about Easter. Now, I don't know if you celebrate the Easter like, Good Friday, and then there's, Easter Sunday and all these kind of good things. Lots of people celebrate it, and it's Happy Easter, and some people don't.
Don't you wonder why they call it Good Friday? Like, they killed him. What's good about that?
I always thought that. And then here's the other one. I've always
it's nailed to the cross, and we'll call it Good Friday.
I've always wondered this one. Why can't you not eat meat on Friday?
Well, I don't know, because I don't do that. I'm not. I gave up mackerel snapping a long time ago.
Mackerel snapping?
I gave it up.
So a lot of people do that still, and I still question that to this day. Like you said, why do they call it Good Friday when they nail them to the freaking cross?
I think it's one piece that's left over from probably an Old Testament deal.
Yes. And so that's not made clear. Now, there was a big, huge story on 60 Minutes about the Catholic Church and all the priests, and I could not believe what they were saying in this story. They were saying 80% of all the priests are gay. I was blown.
I don't know if that's true or
Well,
not.
no, they're talking to one of the main bishops.
Oh.
60 Minutes.
Well, who cares?
I didn't care at all.
Yeah.
But he brought up this little story about pedophilia, like what you were talking about.
That's a problem.
And that's what he was talking
Well,
about.
and the
There's
reason it's a problem is because they hid it for so long, and they treated it at their own private facilities, and then just moved the people around. And we all know now that can't be treated.
That's the story, yeah.
And then what happened was once other people that were like that realized that they could hide in the church, they started joining them.
Yes.
So it
That's exactly what
attracted
he
them.
said, yes.
It attracted them versus detracting them. Had they exposed them and got rid of them, they would have detracted from it. And that was wrong, and they should have been turned over to the police, and there should have been nothing.
And it's exactly what the story was about. They were talking to this one high priest, and he was talking about a lot of these individuals, they're gay and stuff, but they go into the church and they're trying to identify their sexual preferences and stuff, and then they would be attracted to the young boys, because of this.
Well, and I would take issue that because you're gay doesn't make you a pedophile.
No,
Yeah,
it just makes you
it
like
just doesn't.
young boys. And so
No,
that's what they were saying in the story.
But I don't believe that. See,
I'm with you.
There's a
I'm
whole.
just sharing you the 60 Minutes story.
I know. There's a whole different thing. Someone who's gay versus someone who's a pedophilia.
That's right.
And they're not even close. They're not even close. Matter of fact, most pedophilias are heterosexual, white, middle-class males. About 80% of them. Now, the church tends to attract people that were that way because they hid it.
Like you said, they were infiltrating the church.
Yeah, they
to go
infiltrated it,
hide.
and that's what happened. But I will tell you this: that
It was
I have
really an interesting
I have
story.
no issue with gay pastors, gay priests, gay anybody's. I don't care, brothers, sisters, children, you name it. God doesn't make mistakes, and they were put on this earth to bring us some joy and happiness, and all of the beautiful artwork and all of the wonderful intellectual things that happen. And I am grateful for every one of my friends that are gay. And I don't, for 1 minute, I would leave my children with any of them when they were young. So.
You're such a sweetheart,
Well,
Rhonda.
that's you got to be real careful because
I know, that's what I was
those
saying,
articles people can go from one conclusion to the next.
That's
that
right.
isn't true.
And
it just simply isn't
that's
true.
what 60 Minutes was putting forward
Yeah.
but that was really an interesting story. It was just very interesting, and they were asking if it's been hurting the church for Easter and all this kind of stuff, and they don't have to, they can't have mass because during Easter and because of this pandemic. A lot of things have been really rocking the world.
I know.
And it's Happy Easter, Rhonda. So what do we say? We call it a
Oh, it's
day?
almost we're pretty well done here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Talk blah 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 blah.
You had some great material.
I just want to wish everyone a happy Easter for those of you that celebrate, and those of you that don't, just a happy Sunday.
Yeah.
But my family and I will be celebrating because we're believers in Easter, and we're believers in the promise and the miracle of Easter. All right, happy Easter, everybody. We'll catch you in 2 weeks.
Bye-bye.